Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cracking Time, the movie zone. It's the never-ending story. Um, so we obviously are doing the never-ending story. Tomorrow, I'll put up the poll for next week's movie, but next week's movie could be the last one because already this seems to be not going the way I wanted it to go. As I said yesterday, real life has stopped people coming on. And me two co-hosts again, unfortunately, can't come on. So I'm going to do it by myself, see how it goes. And next week, we'll see if we can get our co-host back. But look, as I said, man, I try to do these and people do be up for them, and then when I do them, then it seems like there's no interest. So I mean, I'm trying different things. I don't know what to do. We can't just stick to Doctor Who. We have to branch out, because there's not that, like, I mean, we do the classic and the new Who. We speak about Doctor Who a lot. So it's good to do different things. And when we spoke about movie streams, everybody tells me in the chat and then tells me on panels how, oh yeah, do a movie stream. And then when that happens, nobody turns up, So we're here anyway. I'll do it because I wanted to watch this movie yesterday, but the panelists rightly so, they couldn't turn up. That's fair enough. But I swapped it till today. I'm not cancelling it again. So we're just going to go ahead and watch it. So if there's people in the chat, I see that there is 7 people watching. I mean, I offered LOL. I didn't see. I thought you were taking a break. That's why I didn't ask. See, look, people need to be telling me these things. I thought you were taking a break, so that's why I didn't ask it. So if you want to come on, you're more than welcome. You know what site it's on. It's on that site that we shared to you. If you want to come on, you can come on and do the movie. But you said you were taking a break, so I don't know what the crack is. Well, we've got 6 people watching anyway. Do me a favor. I sent you a DM 2 days ago. Yeah, I read the DM about you taking a break, man. Where is it? Right, hold on. Yeah, there you are. No, that's the wrong fucking account. See, me and Lee have so many bleeding the different chats on this fucking thing. It's unbelievable. Because we chat with different streamers behind the scenes and all. There he is. Yeah, sure. I had a full-blown conversation with you after the fact, man. What am I talking? What? There, you said soon, but I didn't know you meant now. If you want to come on, you're more than welcome. I just didn't ask it because you made it very clear that you wanted a break, and I respect that because you've been through a lot on this fucking Twitter and social media. So, I'm just saying other people out there being, they complain that I don't do these, and then when I do them, they're not here. And, I've already had to put up with someone like, taking a dig at me every time I put out rumors out there. And as I said yesterday, I'm not putting up with it anymore. I'm not going to be messed around anymore. It's as simple as that. So if people don't turn up, I'll do the streams myself. It's as simple as that. I just, because I'm not going to keep cancelling streams because, it was something that we set up. If people can't turn up, then that's fine, fair enough. But like, I mean, You know, the whole point of the two co-hosts was to at least have one of them on, but it hasn't worked out that way. Right. Anyway, if are you coming on? Let me know. Send me a private message or something if you're coming on. I have it ready anyway. If you need the name of the site as well, let me know, and we'll get this show on the road. I see there's 6 people watching right now. If you could do me a favor and hit that like button. Send me the link. What? Send you the link to what? This stream, or... Well, I have to send you the link to the stream as well. But send you the link to the movie as well. Is that what you're asking me? Look, I want to do these things, right? People ask me to do them, and I want to do them. But, like, if someone asks me to do it, well, then I have to see that there's interest in it as well. It's kind of not fair, you know what I mean? The only reason why we decided to do these again was because the Titanic streams were very popular with people, and, you know, people were asking if we could do more movies. And now that I do them, nobody turns up. So I don't know anymore. I just don't know what to say, lads and ladies. I just don't know what to say anymore. I'm trying my best here. I can't keep talking about Doctor Who. You know? I can't. Because there's nothing to talk about right now. That's why I want to do this new stream on a Friday night, before Friday Night Tights. I've been talking about it for months, as you know. I've, you know, I wanna have a panel on. We wanna discuss all the latest news articles, all things that are happening in pop culture, not with just movies and films, but with music as well. You know, that's what I want to do. You know, because no point having the Tarda Zone talks on a Friday when the show is not on TV right now. The Tarda Zone talks was set up so it give fans an opportunity to come on that were being ignored by the current regime, to come on and air their grievances. I think we've done that now since Series 11. You know what I mean? We've done it enough now. So until the series comes back, there's no point in me keep talking about it. So that's why I want to do all these new things. I keep asking these for suggestions and all, and these just be this was one of the suggestions, and then there's other suggestions as well with stuff that we will be doing. But, I mean, if you're going to suggest all this, guys, you know, show up. Come on, you know, show the support. You know, had this film up since Tuesday, says Problem Being. Well, we'll get you on now in a minute, Drama Queen. My messing. But listen, you know, I'll do whatever you ask me to do on this channel, right? But you have to show up, folks. You know, if look, I'm not going to say anymore, because at the end of the day, I just feel like this is a regular occurrence on this channel. Like, you know, we'll make plans and then they'll fall apart because the people won't show up. And I have to be blunt about it. People don't show up when they're supposed to show up, and then it all falls apart, you know? So Teddy is doing great. So Cheryl might be back. So it's at least then, if we continue the movie streams, I'll have Cheryl back, you know, because we'll be doing a lot of the 80s movies that we grew up, because she loved the Goonies. She'd watch the NeverEnding Story, except for You Know What Happens in That, which we won't mention. But she loves the song. But we'll be doing other movies out there that I know that she will like. So she will be back. And yes, I'll even do Grease too, if it means you coming back. So I can at least have someone on with me. Right, anyway, I'm going to bring on my guest. He hasn't been on in a while. He was taking a little sabbatical. But he seems to be ready to go anyway, because I seen him on Twitter. He's ready to go. You know, Lee needs a rest, but then he twiddles his thumbs and he gets a bit restless like myself. And that's all I think it is with me. I'm just a bit restless right now, and I just feel, you know, I'm asked to do all of these things, and I really do, you know, try and do what you want me to do. because you have shown me some great support over these last couple of years. And I just, I think I've said what I've said. So I'll leave it at that. Welcome, PD Rich. Thank you for popping in. And Teddy Terrier Tales. And don't forget to check out the videos on Teddy Terrier Tales. Right, let's bring him on. He hasn't been on in a while. But it's the one and only, probably, the NeverEnding Story. No. Hang on. I know you did a song. That I liked, yeah. But don't do that. Did you ever think? But I want to ask you. Actually, that's funny little segue. When this song came out, did you fancy yourself, your man, and think that you could sing this song? Because you being a singer yourself anyway.
I wasn't a singer back then.
Did you ever consider doing a version?
What, Lamar?
Yeah.
What, with the bleach blonde highlight mullet look going on?
You probably had that look and all, didn't you?
I did not. No. I was very boring back then. Very tedious. Yes. No.
So this song, would you do it? Would you do a remix?
No. You can't improve on perfection, can you? Really? Can you really?
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. It's a cracking tune, and a one-hit wonder for him. God love him.
Hush, I do I. Remember that? That was
I know he had that, but I mean, come on. In fairness, right?
It was a two-hit wonder.
He's always going to be remembered just for Never, and maybe that other song actually, because that is
a two-hit wonder.
Too Shy. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah, it's a great song.
Yeah.
Those two songs, maybe. Yeah, but that's it. I mean, but NeverEnding Story. I think even over Too Shy was the bigger hit because obviously it was used in a movie. But before we start this movie, what are you a fan of this franchise? Because there is a couple of other movies, but
for me. NeverEnding Story, the first film.
It's just the only film.
For me, that's where it should have ended.
Yeah.
I think
it is called a NeverEnding Story. I mean, they could have had bleeding 20 sequels by now.
Well, that's also true. I just think it's perfect as it is as a standalone movie. I think the others are somewhat questionable.
I've seen the others, and I have to say they lack greatly the tone, and I think that's what happens. It was the same with Wizard of Oz. I do actually like the second movie, right? That was made in the 80s, right? Mm-hmm. But the problem with it was it obviously didn't have the tone of the first one, so people just wrote the movie off straight away. But if people actually go and watch that movie, it's a very sinister movie. It's a very good movie, actually. Mm. It will never be the first Wizard of Oz, obviously, but for a sequel in the 80s at the time, it was actually a good movie. I at some stage I will do both movies because I do like the Wizard of Oz. But the second one for me, I loved that movie growing up. The Wheelers. I
went to see the Return to Oz.
Yeah,
in the cinema. Yeah, and back then, you could have all the toys, and remember when you used to go to the cinema and buy like all the toys and all the, you buy the program with all the pictures in it. And you don't get that anymore.
No.
And it had all that, and I used to have the big, program that came with all the set pictures and all the stuff.
I know.
And you could buy like the TikTok man and that kind of stuff.
It wasn't just about the movie, but that's the thing. You're right. Back then, it wasn't just about the movie.
Experience.
They were like even when we were growing up as kids. Like I even remember when Ghostbusters 2 dropped. I was old enough to remember. Obviously, I think I was old.
Yeah, I saw Ghostbusters.
But Ghostbusters 2 more, and the merchandise, and I mean the hype. Everybody was hyped. Adults, kids, everybody was talking about Ghostbusters. Anywhere you went to McDonald's, you went to Burger King, wherever you went, burger shops, all fucking promotional Ghostbusters 2 stuff. Like you were right, you went into the cinema, man. The kids, all the kids got little Ghostbusters 2 goodies and everything like over. I don't know if they did it in England, but over here in Ireland, little Ghostbusters 2 little goodies you got. We got a Slimer thing as well out of McDonald's. It was fucking deadly, man. Back then, they just did things better.
Yeah, I mean that was it. I mean they really went all out, and it was an experience. You know, you go in there. I mean, I remember. I think one of the earliest sort of films I remember going to the cinema doesn't exist anymore. It's a beautiful cinema in Wimbledon, and that's where I saw Superman the movie. You know, you could buy the badge. It was like a black. It was like a black badge with the silver Superman symbol on it. And it was all sort of embossed. And it was really quality, you know, good quality stuff.
Yeah, they never cheaped off with the stuff. That was the thing as well. I mean, companies back then genuinely cared. Yes, they were thinking of the profit margin, right? Of course they were. But they did these things and they really, like, you could see with their ad campaigns and all, that they were really getting into this. Now it's kind of like it's all sterile, you know? It's like, well, here's the new Star Wars movie. Now go out and buy a Baby Yoda. You know, there's no, you know, I don't know. I think movies, it's like, look, we give out about the pop culture side about the writers and the directors and how they write stuff. But I think Hollywood and the industry as a whole has lost heart. It's lost its soul. It doesn't care about its audience anymore. And that's sad, because the audience was always taken into consideration. It didn't matter what your audience personal beliefs were, or religious beliefs were, or sexual orientation was, or whatever your fucking your views were, right? At the end of the day, all these companies were worried about was profit margin, right? And creating something that they knew that people would get behind. They don't do that anymore. And that's why I love, seriously, I love, look, I love all era movies. I have to be honest, I'm a stickler. Don't know about you now, Lee, but I'm a stickler for the spaghetti westerns and westerns in general, the black and white ones and stuff. Mostly John Wayne. Grew up with John Wayne.
I tell you why, because my grandfather used to watch them all the time, and it was like Bonanza and all that kind of stuff. Right?
Yeah, we watched.
I loved Zorro. Zorro, I loved.
Zorro. We watched Zorro as well. I mean, look, I grew up with all of that. Because of me parent, as you said, because of your grandparent, but because of my dad. My dad was a huge Clint Eastwood fan. So anytime there was a spaghetti western on with him, you know, the good, the bad, the ugly, you know.
But for me, like Clint Eastwood was, you know, much more when he was doing his films with Clyde. Remember the orangutan?
Oh yeah, you preferred
Any Which Way But Loose.
Yeah, you prefer that Clint, right?
Yeah.
Whereas I prefer younger Clint, and I do like Clint as a director. I think he's an absolutely brilliant director. Now, they did recently try to cancel L. Clint, poor L. Clint, you know, because he did a movie a couple of years back, right, which we knew was going to come back to haunt him. In fairness, I knew this would come back to haunt him, because the language in the movie is pretty racial, right? But you have to understand this movie within the context. He was an old vet. You know, the way he was talking to the Asian people, it wasn't racist, right? It was just because the area he's born in, he was a war veteran. You know, he fought in Korea. They say this in the middle. He fought in Korea. But the young actor, who I thought was brilliant in the movie and worked brilliant with Clint Eastwood, came out and tried to cancel him, tried to say that his movie was racist and I made him feel uncomfortable. But you weren't saying that when you were taking the paycheck. You didn't say that at the time when you were making the movie, right? Right?
It's all for clout now, isn't it?
Your start, and then this is what you do. This is how you repay him.
It's so political. This is the modern era, you know. Like, I can get a bit of clout here by retroactively
trying to
going back
cancel
and
someone.
destroying things. Yeah,
Exactly.
it's cultural vandalism.
I know.
And if people can't put things into place within the context of the time it was made, you're being very disingenuous.
You are. You have to understand the context always.
You can't put everything through a postmodern lens because well, for a start, it's
well, if you do that, then we're all fucking a bunch of racist, bigots, sexists, homophobes, and we all should be.
Well, that's what they're trying to do. You know, that's exactly what they're trying to create is an environment where everyone feels guilty about everything.
Sorry about
guilt tripping. This is exactly what the culture war is about.
Yeah,
it's about guilt tripping. It's about guilt tripping people to the point that they lose any integrity, and then you can use it as clout and a power shift that, you know, puts the perceived oppressed in charge. It's like, well, you're not really oppressed. You know, it's like people complaining, like that guy from the that new Disney kung fu movie. Going on about how he was in a Korean sitcom in America, and he was saying all the people in the crew were white. It's like, why is that a problem?
He said, well, okay, fair enough, you felt like that, but you're working on this show, you're one of its stars, and you didn't think to say to the people that were writing the show, listen, I feel a little bit uncomfortable, or I feel like you're stereotyping American Asian people. But no, you didn't. You sat down, you kept your mouth shut, you took the fucking money, and now because everybody's coming out, cancel culture galore. Now you're coming out now all of a sudden and giving out. Shut the fuck up. You took the paycheck. If you feel that bad, I say to every actor and actress out there right now, you feel bad about something, right? And you've worked on a show and you come out now and you say, and you apologize for that. Hand back the fucking paycheck, you fucking hypocrites. Right? Hand back the fucking paycheck. But no, you won't hand back the paycheck because you are a bunch of hypocrites, as I fucking said. You will always be fucking hypocrites. You are paid to fucking act, nothing more. Right? So stick to your fucking job because you will be a spent force. Yeah, and you already are becoming a spent force because there's a lot of people that have turned off an awful lot of actors and actresses, and their careers are going to go down the pan. Listen, we're 23 minutes in. I don't want this to kind of turn into a big, huge rant about, and rightly so. You know what we're talking about is kind of relevant before we watch this movie, because this is what cinema is all about, right? This is an hour and a half, hour and 34 minutes exactly, right? And you sit down for that hour and 34 minutes and you're transported away. And that's all that these movies should be doing, right? Sitting down, having fun, and escaping all of the crap that goes on in real life. This is what movie making was about back in the day, right? You watch a movie now, they want to fucking preach here. I've had enough. Have you got this movie?
I do. I have it ready.
Right. Would you like to have the honors of the countdown?
Oh, yes. Okay, let me just...
Right, if everybody in the chat that is watching with us, we've got 6 people. If you are watching... please press 1 in the chat if you could, folks. If not, Lee will do a 5-second countdown, and then when he says press play, he is press play, or which word he uses at the end. Lee likes to mix it up a little bit.
I'll do an honorary go.
Right, so he's gonna do a Charlotte, but he's not as good as Charlotte at doing it. You know.
Well, wait a minute.
You know. So, you know.
Wait a minute.
But we let him think. Shh. We let him think that he's great. Right, hold on. What am I have to do? Right, hold on, boys and girls, because Daddy Noel here is at the doing something. Oh, there we go. Right, I think I'm ready now, Lee. Right,
okay.
I've got big screen now, so I don't think anybody is going to press 1. I think the people that are watching are just going to watch in the background, but they do watch. Some do watch. Do know that. So just do the countdown anyway.
All right.
So, and we'll start. And if anybody does need a timestamp, I'll try my best. It's on me telly now, so I'll try to give you a timestamp if I can. Right, Lee, knock yourself out, pal. Let's get this show on the road.
Righto. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Woohoo!
Oh, pause it.
Pause it.
Go back to the start. Alpha Omega is in the chat. I sent you a message yesterday. I didn't. I assumed that you were in work again today because obviously you didn't respond. So I'll send you the link. I don't want to start without my co-host.
No.
Right.
Get on here.
But listen, I'm gonna say it again. If there's anybody out there that would like to join these movie streams along with me co-host, will you let me know? Because if one of me co-hosts can't turn up, like which has happened, obviously Alpha is turning up now. That's great, fantastic. But there will be weeks where none of them will be able to turn up. So if you are interested in coming on like Lee has tonight, you're more than welcome. Right, I've paused the 3 seconds in. Will we go back to 0, 0, 0, 0, 0?
0,
0 point. Alpha, I've sent you the link. Have you got the movie? I hate that. I'm afraid to fucking ask, actually. The Hunt for Red October. I will be doing that movie, actually, at some stage. See, I've got great taste in movies. When you see something in the movie, now, you will be surprised. I
was watching Animal Olympics the other day. Do you know that film?
Yeah, I've heard. I haven't watched it.
It's a classic animated film from 1980, and it's all animals like doing the Olympics.
Right.
I used to wear this VHS out as a kid. Like I taped it off the TV and I played it to death until the tape was mangled. And it's so good. It's got music from the guy from 10cc. It's got Billy Crystal in the voice, with one of the voices. It's so good. It's really funny. It's a great film. I would suggest that as a watch because that is so much fun. So much fun.
We've got a couple of people in the chat there. Would you like to read out a couple of the people there that have turned up?
We've got Spec76, Noel, and Mr. Being, the Legion of Doom.
Yeah.
Quite right.
Legion of. I'll say no more. No. I'm not a Legion of Doom. I never set out to be anything other than to give my opinion on pop culture and to give other people a voice. I've seen recent events out there that kind of made me laugh, and at the same time, we kind of predicted a few months back anyway when we were talking behind the scenes. The problem is there's too many egos out there. You even seen by the responses of some of them when some of them were claiming that they're fans. They're not your fans. You don't have fans. You have an audience. Right? The way some of these people are going on, you think you are celebrities. These aren't celebrities. These are YouTubers like us. You just happen to have more subs. Right? So get a bit of perspective here, because some of you are kind of, blowing smoke up your own ass. You aren't that fucking great anyway. So, take a fucking chill pill. You're lucky to be in the position that you're in to make the money that you fucking make. All right? I'm fucking sick of it. You know what I mean? I work really hard on this fucking channel. I struggle, right? And then you have pricks out there fighting with each other, right? Over fucking bullshit because of a misunderstanding or wherever. And I've kept my mouth shut about it to a certain extent, right? But I saw this coming months ago. I told loads of people this was going to happen, right? Because I could see what was happening. And, I would say, I'm not going to mention names, but I would say out there's a particular show out there that hosts a lot of people. I would seriously consider rebranding and not bringing certain people on because they're toxic. And all of this started because someone ran their mouth off and called someone's audience can't use the word, but use that name, the third name, right? And then, of course, that other person was going to respond naturally, right? But the thing about it is the two of them have two egos, and the two of them are bullshitters anyway. I don't know why people listen to them, right? One just fucking screams all the time. That's what he's famous for. And the other one is going on about Kathleen Kennedy leaving the last 3 fucking years. Will you all fucking cop on? Right? And then he throws his toys out of his pram because, and I even called him out on these rumours. He doesn't like it anyway. He acts like a baby. He calls people out. Right? At the end of the day, you do rumours, you're going to get fucking criticism. If you can't hack it, don't fucking do them. Simple as that. I'm sick of this fucking whole fandom. Sick of it. They're supposed to set an example for the rest of us. Yeah? And there they are all acting like children. And then we had another gobshite, which I won't mention, right? But recent controversy with him and Zack Schneider, let's just say, right? And then he comes out and says, well, I will host a stream on my channel. It's none of your fucking business. Keep out of it, right? That's the problem with you all. These are all a bunch of nosy little bastards want to fucking stick his noses in other people's fucking business. I'll host a stream so they could talk it out on air, so everybody can see their dirty laundry being aired live. Like, are you an idiot? Right? Sort it out like men. Yeah, do it publicly like men. That's what men do. No. Men do it behind closed fucking doors. They go on and fucking apologize and they do things behind closed doors. Right? You just want all this to be public because it's generating all the fucking views and all the fucking, we've seen it. We've seen it already. And then other streamers, they're desperate to get attention. A female streamer out there that's been playing the victim for over a year. I actually unsubbed her and actually, it's funny because I actually stopped listening to this person a year ago. I even told Lee, I said, these are the people that have, and every single person that I've unsubbed is the ones that is embroiled in this controversy. I fucking seen it coming, right? People need to cop on out there, right? There's a lot of fucking fakes out there, right? And you need to fucking watch who you are giving your money to, right? And I don't care if I'm speaking out loud. I don't care if none of these people talk to me. At the end of the day, he's been led down the garden fucking path. Right? Half of these Kathleen Kennedy gone the last 3. Fuck off, pull the other one. Right? She's there on the set of Indiana fucking Jones recently. Right? She was praised as the fucking one of the most powerful women in the movie industry. And you're still saying she's leaving or she's being moved around. Shut the fuck up, she ain't going anywhere. And if you don't like that, because I said that, right? Tough. That's what happens. I put out rumours. I don't like it either, but it happens. At the end of the day, there's no point arguing with people that don't agree with you. And the fact that, you try and reinforce, no, she's not going anywhere. She's never going anywhere. You read in retcon and the sequel trilogy. Get over it, right? Star Wars is fucked, right? End of. You won't be able to fucking sort it out until you fucking come to the realization that woman is not going anywhere, right? Then you need to band together properly as a fucking fandom menace and fucking put pressure on them, Disney and fucking Lucasfilm, to make fucking changes. But all you do is go on these streams and fucking moan at each other, right? Fucking do what you are supposed to do. Fandom menace is supposed to be there to make a fucking difference, right? You gave these are fucking enemies all the ammunition that they needed last week. They're all fucking laughing at you. Oh, let's all do it publicly so everybody can see that we're all having a scrap. These are all becoming the fucking side that you fucking detest. And it's fucking disgraceful. We're supposed to look to use to set the example. I've been saying this for months, man. A lot of them, unfortunately, have let money and subs take over. And it's obvious the ones that are driving for subs and want the money. And it's fucking sad. It's fucking sad, right? You're supposed to be there fighting for pop culture. You aren't doing a great job, to be quite fucking honest with you. Quite honest. And there's channels out there that do great work, right? And they do bring guests on. And I feel personally speaking, these shows are becoming echo chambers because you have the same people on discussing the same shit week in, week out, right? Whereas I was doing it as well, by the way. I can't. I can't say I haven't. I've been doing it with Doctor Who. It's time to get fucking over it. Move on, do other stuff. Talk about other stuff. There's plenty of other stuff to talk about. I mean, how many times do you have to hear about Kathleen Kennedy? or rumored that she's leaving. How many times do you want to hear about Disney, MCU, and all of this other rubbish? Like, how many videos, how many streams do you need to talk about the one topic over and over and over and over and over and over and over again? Where's the variety? These channels used to have variety. They don't have it anymore. They've become echo chambers. And I'm disappointed. But I am not surprised by the recent events, because there are a few people in this fandom menace that I believe that are toxic, and their only aim is to be toxic. And it just happens that one of them called out Doomcock, and he is a toxic little prick. Don't like him, never liked him. I think he's only there to be controversial, but he doesn't actually bring art to the table at all. And, you know, he did start it all, by the way, you know, and he refused to apologize at first, and it escalated, right? Because that's what these people want. They want drama, right? Then a female YouTuber out there, then when she seen all this was happening and she wasn't getting any attention, she decided to speak up as well. A bunch of fucking frauds. And by the way, that female YouTuber, I told you that she was a fraud. I told people behind the scenes she was a fraud. And
well, this is what made me unsub from her. Well, I mean, it must be a year ago or something, when I was in the chat, and I suggested watching Blake 7, and she said, like, I sort of quote from memory here, why would I want to watch that old shit? You're a fan of
but this is the thing.
Classic science fiction.
That she set up because she said she was a pop culture channel, and she refuses to do a sci-fi show because it happens to be an old sci-fi show. No, I'll tell you why. She won't watch a decent sci-fi show because she doesn't want to praise it. She'd rather watch Star Wars, Mandalorian, or she'd rather watch fucking the MCU to complain about one of those shows. Because that's all they've become, a bunch of fucking complainers. They don't do anything positive. Look at all of their channels. When have they ever done a movie stream, right? To just talk about something that they love. They don't. It's always negative. It's at least on this channel, right? I do try to do some positive stuff. Can't say the same about the rest of them, and I can't say the same about them. Show me a positive fucking stream that they've done in the last 2 fucking years. Not one.
Well, speaking of which, let's get
yeah, positive. And here's Alpha Omega. Welcome, Alpha.
Hey.
Hi, guys.
Nice to see you.
Oh, a new. Oh, it's Davros. Nice.
Yeah,
I like it.
Tattoos.
So yeah, you know, I'll say no more. I've said my piece. I've probably said too much, but I don't give a crap. At the end of the day, right? Some of these people out there need to get a little bit of perspective. They're not your fans, right? You fucking moron. They're fucking your audience. And yes, you are right to stand up for your audience. You did the right thing, right? By standing up for your audience. But the way you carried on after the fact, right? Stupid statements left, right. You all need to shut the fuck up now. Right? That's what you need to do. You all need to shut the fuck up, grow up, okay? And stop acting like petulant children. All right? And fucking do what you were supposed to do in the first place. A lot of yous have let fucking money and greed get the better of yous. And it's fucking sickening. It is. Every time you go onto these channels, you get hit with merchandise every 5 fucking minutes. Right? So look at those channels and look carefully who you're giving your fucking money to. Because I'm being honest with you, you know, half of them I wouldn't even give 2 fucking cents to. Right? I tell you, the only streamers that I'd support out there, and I've said it, you know, I love Gary from Neurotic. I love Ballstreck. These guys have supported me. Eddie Ascaro supported me. You know, you guys on the panel have supported me. I love Az's channel as well, Comics Division. Tom is brilliant as well. Tom Connors from Midnight's Edge. There's some great streamers out there that deserve your attention. And then there's others out there that I wouldn't even piss on. That's how fucking how much I feel about it. These last couple of weeks have opened my eyes. I hope they've opened a lot of your eyes. But I knew this was coming. This is the thing. I knew this was coming, but I do hope it opens a lot of your eyes, because what happened over the last couple of weeks showed me, and I even said it, a lot of the snakes are finally shown their true identities. And a lot of these, unfortunately, are not the people that I've mentioned, by the way. I want to make that clear. But people that I haven't mentioned out there, there's a lot of fakes. They pretend to be pop culture channels. And as Lise rightly said, what channel in their right mind that advertises itself as a pop culture channel won't do an old sci-fi show? I've never fucking heard of it. It doesn't, you know, that to me would set alarm bells going. Well, then why are they on YouTube? And then if you go and look at that channel, you'll see why they're on YouTube. Always plays the victim, always bitching about Brie Larson or some fucking other dope out there. You know, same videos over and over and over and over. And listen, I've been guilty of it. I'm not going to say, you know, this is why I want to do all these different things. We have to move away from Doctor Who when it's not on. You know, we can still do our classic and new Who and talk about them. But there's no point to keep banging on about Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker. We've said all we needed to say. Obviously, yesterday when we got the news and stuff like that, we will talk about it at the relevant time. But to keep going on about something, come on, let's be fair. Even some of you have called me out and said, why are we still doing the same stuff? Exactly. Why aren't people calling these people out? It's the same shit week in, week out, folks. Open your eyes. Right, Lee, do the countdown before I say, wait, we've already gone too far. But
are we all ready? Press 1 in the chat, biatches, and let's whisk ourselves back to a happier.
Yeah, but I just want to add this. I just don't want people to be taken for mugs. I respect everybody that supports me, you know, and you have shown that support. And you have been very good to me through the bad times as well as the good times, right? So I know how much some of these channels mean to you, because when my channel went away, the amount of love and support that I got and people devastated that the channel was down, you know, that really got to me. So I know how much you care about all of these channels, right? And I'll always be the one that'll have the balls to come out and say it the way I see it. And I'm not going to change that. And I just really think that you guys should be careful out there, because some of you do spend your hard-earned cash on these channels, you know? And I would say, you know, go and support the creator that's honest. And there's plenty in the Fandom Menace that are honest. Unfortunately, there's plenty that have latched onto this brand because, you know, it does generate views and hits, and they've latched onto it. And you can kind of tell now, you know, the mask is slipping a bit. So I just want you all to be careful. And this is the only reason why I've said something today, because I'm sick of it all. You deserve better. And with that, I'm going to let the man himself, royalty. He's royalty, by the way, because we don't have Queen Charlotte, but he is a bit of a queen himself. But he's our queen. So if you would like to do the honors, my friend, and we get this show on the road.
Sweet. Okay, teleport back to 1984.
Yes.
And here we go.
I was 5 years of age.
Bless your heart.
Oh, I know.
5.
I was 5.
4. See what I did there? 3, 2, 1, go. Woohoo!
Seriously, I was 5. And this, look, I love my favorite part of this movie is obviously the flying dog.
Well, it's a dragon, isn't it?
Well, yeah, but when I was a kid, it was a dog.
Fair enough.
Now, this was obviously directed by, what's his name, Anderson, what's his first fucking name? Wolfgang Peterson. He also did, very interestingly, he did Air Force One, right? Now, Wolfgang has a habit of doing these fucking ridiculous things in movies, right? Air Force One was no exception. That scene in the airport. Are they real clouds, or do you think they did some mad?
That would no, that would be. I don't know. Actually, I think that would be Smoke Machine in a slow motion or something.
Ending story.
Yeah, I was only.
Best way to start the movie off, you know, no big, just do the song straight into the movie then, you know.
Such a theme tune. I mean, it's great. Giorgio Moroder, of course. Why can't we have movies like this anymore? Why not? Why the fuck not? Come on, Hollywood.
Because they want us to be miserable bastards, man.
That's
and I guarantee you, if they remade the NeverEnding story, the role would be gender swapped. The dog would be a black dog, and the old couple would probably be a fucking same-sex couple.
Yeah.
Right? Fuck off, right? And Sebastian would be a girl or a transgender boy.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, but I know I'm making a joke of it, but that's the reality. That's what will probably happen. But I do love this movie. And you're right. Why do they not make movies like this anymore? I always thought his dad was a bit of a wanker, but he wasn't, because he'd lost his wife. You know, this was the thing about 80s movies as well, though, when they did the family dynamic, you know, if a husband or a wife died, you know, they showed the warts and all. They weren't afraid to show a father breaking down or a mother breaking down or father or mother being under stress, you know, trying to look after their kids. Who puts orange juice and eggs together? Americans do. I've asked me, why do you do these kind of things?
Beats me.
Like I say, some of it is healthy for you.
Yeah, it's just energy. Well, I mean, that was before like all the salmonella scare, you know.
See the way you said, don't let your mom's death. See, this is what I mean. You could tell that the father's struggling, but he doesn't know quite what to do.
Mm.
Never really seen this actor though, not the kid, but I never really seen this actor.
Oh, he was in Simon and Simon.
In a lot of movies growing up now myself.
So I guess you never saw Simon and Simon?
No.
It was a TV series. It was private investigators with this guy and his brother.
Oh.
And it was on for it was on for a good many years.
Oh. I guess that didn't translate over here.
The only reason why Sebastian is daydreaming is because he's lost his mother. He doesn't know how to process it, so he's kind of buried himself in a make-believe world.
Yeah.
That's why he wants to read, you know?
I think this is a great film for kids who have lost someone. You know, like, it gives them a way of dealing with grief. You know, like it's okay to have escapism and to think of something happy. You know, that imagination is important.
And it was more than likely the case that if a single parent had a kid and they were living and they were struggling, the kid was also, it was more than likely the kid was also being bullied at school as well, which that would add to the kids. So the kid's not only lost his mother, but is also being bullied You know.
Yeah.
This is my first time watching this. I was 22 when this came out, so not much interest in.
Well, I was 9, so this was perfect timing for me.
Well, how do you feel about it now, Alpha? You a fan of the movie now, or?
I don't know. Like I've said, this I'm watching it for the first time.
Oh,
so.
really? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you know, I mean, if you've got a love for all things 80s, this is it. You know,
Yeah, it's like Ghost. This is at the same level as Ghostbusters. You know, movies during the 80s that are kind of iconic.
Yeah.
And NeverEnding Story is iconic.
Definitely.
It is. It's well known.
Yeah, I mean, 1984 was an amazing year for great movies.
And music.
Same year that Ghostbusters came out, and you know, so many others, so many others. Books.
I did like the old man in this. There was always an old man or someone that had a story, you know.
Yeah, like when old white guys used to be like sagely, you know. Now it's like have to be super villains or something.
Yeah,
you can't have him imparting any kind of knowledge.
No,
definitely not.
Bullies. He's running away from bullies, mate. I know what that felt like. Jeez, I used to be terrified getting up in the mornings going to school.
Tell me about it.
I got some beatings, man. And it didn't matter because it'd make it worse. You run away, make it worse. You stand there and fight, you're probably going to get the hiding of your life, but you make it worse.
Well, I don't know, because when I don't know actually. I mean, when I stood up to someone eventually, like, it kind of sent a shockwave through the school when I beat up this kid who was bullying me throughout the entire class, and then all the kids, all the kids in the school wanted to fight me suddenly. It was just like, oh God. I didn't go in on my last day, I'll tell you that much. Apparently they water bombed one of my my favorite art teacher, and he had a heart attack. He died. It was just vicious, absolutely vicious.
See, even this little scene here where he's talking to him about books. He's trying to get him fascinated in books. Have you ever been Captain Nemo? Because that's what real good books do. You become these characters. You know, you're getting engrossed. You're transported to that world. You know, it's just fascinating, man. Oh. Do you think he deliberately, because I've always had a bit of a theory here, that he deliberately said that story to him and left that book there, as a test. Fair enough, the phone happened to ring at a convenient time, but still, you know, I always thought there was some sort of test going on here.
Well, he's like a magician, really, isn't he?
Even the music, yeah. Love it.
And he knows, look, he's watching and he's smiling. He's like, yeah, good.
Don't worry, I'll return your book. Actually, this young kid was in a lot of movies during that time. He was in another movie called Daryl, where he played a kid that was basically an android for the US military and could like fly planes and hack into computers and stuff like that.
don't
but he
remember.
had an accident and ended up living with a family. It's actually a good movie. It's called Daryl.
Oh, I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, good movie. So yeah, this kid has been in a lot of movies during the 80s. He was pretty popular actually.
Oh, he's very good.
He is a good actor, yeah. Well, he was a child actor because he hasn't, as far as I'm aware, he hasn't really done much as an adult. It's like Macaulay Culkin, isn't it? It's kind of sad. He was the 90s kid. This probably would have been the 80s kid. It's like the kid that played David in Flight of the Navigator. I read his story after the fact. He never did anything much after Flight of the Navigator, and then he ended up getting into some sort of trouble and ended up being locked up. But I was gutted because I love that movie, and I love, Flight
of the Navigator was great. Yeah.
I always wanted to be David.
Isn't it like the first CGI thing? I think in the film.
Yeah. I love Flight of the Navigator. It's a great movie. I watched it recently. It hasn't aged well, I have to be honest, but it's still one of those. It's again like what you said, Lee. Why can't they make films like this? Never Ending. You know what I mean? It's the same with that.
Because they don't have imagination anymore. Like it's sad. It's really sad.
PJ maybe is in the chat. Welcome. David Travels Through Time Channel 2 is in the chat. He says he has 122 subs on his second channel, which is nice. Can't use my first one anymore due to the hacker. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Come on, what's that to love?
No, not Deep Roy.
By the way, that troll-looking fucker looks like Jimmy Savile. Come on. Look at this. In fairness, only Wolfgang Peterson could do something like this.
And it's all practical effects, which I love. You know, none of the modern CGI nonsense. It's all.
His story is sad.
Back screen projection.
I love this movie.
Must be a real vintage.
I love it because when he starts eating the rocks, obviously the rock start coming out of his mouth and falling onto the ground. They have to dive for cover.
Brilliant. Oh.
Oh. I swear it wasn't me. I love it. And then he puts the 3 fingers up as the fucking scouts on her.
Oh.
Mhm.
They're dubbing his voice.
Actually, if I'm right, this guy here, that
It's Mr.
has,
Sin.
I think he was in, if I remember correctly, and tell me if I'm wrong, but he's obviously a lot older now. But I think he played the new Oompa Loompa in
Yeah, he did. Yeah,
in Charlie and the Chocolate Factory with Johnny Depp.
Yep, that's him.
And he played a deadly part. I do like that move. Listen, I know I love the original. Will always love the Gene Wilder version. Nothing will ever beat it. But I do like the Johnny Depp version. I do like it. Tim Burton's take, because I am a Tim Burton fan, kind of. So
You didn't know him from Talons of Wang Chang.
Yeah,
That's him.
yeah,
The Mr. Sin.
yeah.
doesn't he say something about the snail here? But yeah, I can't wait.
Yeah.
Nobody cares. Ah. He would have had that on a track. I mean, clever.
Yeah. So imaginative. You just don't get that level of attention to detail in practical effects anymore. Although I think it should do a resurgence,
Oh. Yeah, get out of there. I tell you, the CGI holds up a little bit. See, movies like this, never touch them, never remake them. But I suspect at some stage, someone will do this again.
Probably. Look at that. Beautiful.
Obviously, little wee Noel had a crush on the princess.
Yeah.
But again, I was fascinated by this. One day they'll start making movies again. Because they don't make movies now, they make propaganda pieces. Wow. I tell you, Wolfgang Peterson, him and his team, some imagination. I have to give it to them. Ooh. Oh, there's Ming and the Merciless.
Draconian.
Or just well, more to
With a
yeah.
I love the bat.
They're just the way they had.
I love the giant head things.
Yeah, I like.
I mean, imagine being an extra on this. Must have been so fun. It's a trail.
A trail. Except when they do this movie again, they won't have Atreyu as an Indian warrior because we can't have that anymore. You know.
Well, I mean, unless he's played obviously by someone who is
Indian.
Mm-hmm.
Ah, look at the little fish head on the right. I never really noticed. That's it. On the right. Yeah.
Oh, so good. It's just eye candy, like pepper thrower.
Oh, there he is. He looks about 12. He's going to save us all.
I used to idolize him as a kid.
Did you?
Yeah. Is he a nutcase?
I actually listened to the soundtrack to this movie a few weeks back. It's fucking brilliant. If you haven't, it's on YouTube, the whole soundtrack. It's brilliant. The music is just so good. I wanted one of them.
Yeah. It's the same on the book. This music's fantastic.
Yeah, you should listen to the whole version of this music, man. It's fucking epic.
Giorgio Moroder, what can I tell you?
This movie is just perfect. I even if you're not a fan, you have to appreciate the filmmaking here. I mean, it's just look at that shot.
Mm.
Look at that. I mean, look at that. That's obviously a real place that they filmed it, but look at that. Ooh.
Oh, yeah.
You remember this, dude?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The eyes.
The eyes always freaked me out, man.
Mm. Yeah.
In fairness, though, I was into werewolves, so it didn't.
Oh, werewolves freaked me out. I remember being on holiday with my gran in Belgium. We ended up in this club somehow, I don't know. And there was like the Thriller video was being shown on the big screen, and I was absolutely terrified. Oh.
The saddest scene in this is actually.
I'm not ready for it.
That's why Cheryl won't watch this movie, just because of that scene. Yeah, but you all should like realize that right at the end of the movie, like it's grand.
Say nothing.
They all die. It's just the way it happens. Done. What's your sandwich, mate? What are you eating? You only took one bite, you little shit. Do 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 do. Oh, where's Valcor? Valcor! Oh, yeah. That bleeding wolf always, I'll tell you, man. Growing up as a kid, seeing those eyes.
Yeah.
Those green eyes in the dark. Oh, no.
Don't. Oh.
Oh, God. By the way, no horses were filmed during this scene. Just so you all know.
Come on, Artex.
Uh-oh.
Oh.
But here's the thing: if the if the horse lets the sadness get to him, and now he's letting the sadness get to him because his horse is dead, he's dying, should he not technically be sinking too now because like he's sad? Oh no, 5-year-old me didn't give a shit about that, but this did traumatize me. Oh. I wouldn't even mind. Cheryl came out the hall there and I thought to myself, oh shit, she better not walk right in. She'll see it on the screen. But luckily she was bringing Ted down. Oh. Oh, Jesus, look at him. Oh.
The cinema was everyone was sniffing, you know.
I bet you everybody was. I bet you everybody was devastated and crying, man. I can imagine. Our kids and all being comforted by their bleeding mammies and daddies. Of course, that's why the ending of this movie would have fucking, for kids especially, I won't say anything, but the ending kind of. Shell Mountain. It looks like a fucking mound.
It's like E.T.
Well, you did scream loud.
Allergic to youth. Yeah. Mm.
Is your man talking to a turtle?
The fact that you even asked that question, the next question I'm going to ask, is a very important question. Have you ever seen this movie?
No, that's why I asked if he's talking
Oh
to a
my God. I don't know what I married at all.
Mm.
turtle.
Of course it was a turtle, but the fact that you don't even know that was a turtle, even if you had never watched the movie, this movie is iconic.
It's sad.
Wow.
It's sad.
To the point.
I'm afraid to ask what other movie she hasn't seen that we've all seen.
Besides Back to the Future.
Yeah, she hasn't watched that trilogy either.
Blues
Which
Brothers.
one?
Back to the Future, she's never seen them.
Wow.
I never watched Blues Brothers.
She never watched
Wow. Oh my God, the Blues Brothers. You've got to watch the Blues Brothers. I laughed for a fortnight when I saw it.
You knew what you were getting into when you married me. I don't like sad movies, and I don't want my food to touch.
Blues Brothers isn't sad.
Yeah, not sad.
Yeah, but she's not into that type of music either.
Oh, it's brilliant. It's so
she's a religious
funny.
freak.
What movie? What movie?
Blues.
Blues. Oh. Nah, that's an angry dog.
Yeah.
Okay, bye.
Yeah, see you later.
Cheryl.
I can't believe I married that woman. Doesn't know what fucking never-ending story is.
You want me to come brief you on Love Island later?
No, I don't want you to brief me on that. And I want you to get out now and stop being an embarrassment. Seriously, man. Never seen the Never. I'm disappointed, man.
It's sad.
It doesn't matter if it's sad. It's iconic.
It's a different kind of sad. Like, I don't want animal sad.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
see,
I'm not going to watch Marley Me either because I made the mistake and bought the book and I'm gutted for life.
Yeah, but you see the end of the movie, it's just a satisfying ending to the movie, so I don't know what the man for.
Does everyone live happily ever after?
No, they all, every single one of them die a horrible death.
Yeah, you still
Here we go.
Oh, here he is. Here he is. Here's the main star of the movie now. And the old couple. Seriously, they're the best in this movie, man. Oh. It does look shit now, but have to say that did look bad.
The Muppet.
Not at the time. Not at the time.
But still, I take this any day
Yeah.
over that, and that's being written today. So, hands up who wanted a Valcor.
Yeah. 100%.
Apparently, the dog is still around.
The dog.
Well, it has a dog's face. I keep saying that, but you can go and see Valcor. They still have Valcor somewhere. I think go and see him.
Wow.
Like I see those little bubbles on his back. I always wanted to burst all of them.
They're not bubbles, they're scales.
Yeah, well, I thought they were bubbles back then. You leave me alone. I was a 5-year-old.
Bloody idiot child.
5-year-old me. Right, I wanted to go and pop his back.
Shameful. Shameful.
The Bachelor.
Yum, 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 yum.
I'm a luck dragon.
Scratchy's ear. Go, Scratchy's ear. Look at the tongue and all sticking out.
Yeah.
This is problematic.
Yeah.
I'm going to create merch that just says it's sad, Cheryl. It says Teddy Terrier Tales. You're gonna release merch, Cheryl, are you? Okay. Ah, this couple is deadly.
Mm-hmm.
Here, you look evil there. If you just want to do a prequel of Baby Valcor and the old couple.
Oh, she was great. She used to be in everything in the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, you're right.
Wasn't she in Metal Mickey? I can't. Too long ago.
Wasn't she also? I could be way off here, but wasn't she also in the Witches?
Maybe.
Cheryl, you should make one that says Teddy the real luck dragon.
He's a lucky little dragon.
Well, yeah.
I don't know if I've been drinking anything with bat related stuff.
Problematic.
Yeah, they wouldn't be. They'd even change the dialogue there today, which is sad. Well, listen. I will defend this scene by saying this, right? All you feminists out there say that women should be treated equally. Well, he's treating his wife as equally as he's treating one of his own mates. So there you go. You know, 50-50. Ah. It's just the imagination of everything. I mean, even that
It's
construction.
fantastic. I love it.
We got 7 people watching right now. If you could do us a favor and hit that like button, we really appreciate it. Ah. Wow. Mincemeat.
Mm.
Ooh. Like, I mean, you think he would have listened to the old man anyway, you know? Like, you got past the first game, but what you got to do when it comes to the second one, you little weirdo?
I do love these sphinxes. So.
Yeah,
Or
same here.
cherubs, actually. Babylonian cherubs. Like the sort of similar to the ones on the...
Well, if you look on either side of them, right, you could really say that was a riverbed. The rivers of Babylon.
They look very similar to the ones on the... what do you call it? The... oh, God.
The Egyptian, the pyramids, the fucking Sphinx.
No, the Ark of the Covenant.
That's what.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Jesus, boobies. You wouldn't get boobies in a kid's room anymore. Look, I mean, he had no problem even showing the nips. But this was family film. This was family, and they didn't shy away from things like that. You know, it was, you know, they weren't afraid to scare the shit out of the kids. They weren't afraid to show kids death and how to handle it. You
And
know,
nipples.
when it came to sexuality as well, let's be honest, they didn't shy away from it when we were growing up. Like, it's just they just gone the completely opposite way with it. It's not about diversity and all of that shit that they talk about. Well, I mean, look at this. Fucking Android was never going through anyway. See now you got all scaredy cat there now. You weren't supposed. You should have listened to the old man. Oh, I was hoping that he'd pass. Obviously. Oh, run! Jesus Christ! By the time you make the face and actually run, you'll be fucking shot. Yes. Yeah, who do you mean?
Did he make it?
Well, he made it to the first fucking gate, all right. second gate though. It has to face, yeah. Nobody likes to look at them, but that's the thing. You know, we all have flaws in our character. Let's out straight. No human is perfect, but we don't like to face those things. You know, look in the mirror, so to speak, like this saying. Like nobody wants to see the bad side of them, you know, or their flaws. I think that's one of our biggest flaws is we try to be perfect, but we're not. We never will be. Gotta go. Need to get ready for Captain's stream. Boy, guys, says PJ maybe.
Take care, PJ maybe.
Tell Captain Cockney we said hello. And as I said, we will be bringing on panelists and YouTubers, and you know, I haven't said it to him yet, but I hope to do bring on the captain at some stage on the Friday nights. It'll be kind of like Friday Night Tights, except the difference will be is that we'll cover everything pop culture. We won't be just sticking to the same topic. I do believe there's a lot more going on out there. I've read some stuff myself, which I find fucking an absolute joke, to be honest. And, you know, I think, you know, before Friday Night Tights, we've always done a bit, you know, the Target Zone talks we always did, or we did a panel before Friday Night Tights to get people warmed up. I know I'm a small channel, but that's what we used to do. And that's what I want to do. I want to have different panelists on every Friday, mix it up, and talk about the latest in pop culture. I think it will be good. I've been trying to come up with some names. I've wrecked Lee's head actually with sending them names, the potential names for this stream. But I fucking hell, man, I can't think of it. See, I wanted to incorporate Zone, but not Tarda Zone. But then I said maybe I should leave out Zone and just come up with a totally brand new name for a stream. So if anybody has any ideas of what we could call this new stream, because Gary has the Friday Night Tights and Inquisition and stuff like that. Yeah, Friday Night Frolics with Doomcock, and I was thinking we could have a name because people do recognize names of streams, and you know.
Well, I'd keep it Zone. I think it's part of their brand.
I was thinking something like the pop culture zone or
toxic culture zone.
or, the zone, you know, something
the Twilight
like
Zone.
the zone. Speaking, you know,
the ozone. Culture zone.
Because we use the Cracking Time trailer now. We do for the movie zone. You know, it's Cracking Time, the movie zone. That's what that's called. And I get the opportunity to use that trailer now, and it doesn't go to waste. So I knew I'd find a use for it anyway, and rightly so, because it deserves to be seen. Good trailer. I love that trailer with the cracking time. Love it. I absolutely love it. I love all the trailers you've done for me, actually. There's not one that I don't like.
You're now relegated to the friend zone.
So yeah, if anybody has any ideas of what we could call this new Friday night stream or show, whatever you want to bleed and call it. Some people say show, I say stream because it's a stream. And then I was just thinking something as simple as the pop culture zone, you know, something like that. The Friday night Habanero zone, ha ha ha. Wookie fever. Well, if you come up with any names, let me know. Let me know. I'm open to suggestions once it's not too ridiculous. This oracle was very shiny. Oh, there goes our forehead.
Look left, look right. Look left, look right. Run away.
I mean, just look at that. I have to say, that does look bad there, right? But this scene coming up here in the clouds is deadly because it's obviously the camera. Here we go. Here's the music again. The way this kicks in on the album is brilliant, man. Fucking deadly, man. Still, I'm an adult and I still want to ride on top of Valcor. Sadly, I must leave. My corporate minders require my servitude. Have a great stream, says Wookie Fever. You too, pal. Have a good one. The weekend's coming up, so yeah, enjoy our weekend. Do 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 do. Boom. Boom, boom, boom.
I mean, you can imagine this being remade with today's special effects, and it would probably look really spectacular. But they would just ruin it.
I know. If we got someone that genuinely wanted to just do the movie,
if they did it exactly the same, right, but just update everything
for today's audience, then I would have no problem with that. Once they kept the language, you know, and the dialogue that was there originally, yeah, obviously they're going to change up.
But it's got it wouldn't have the charm anyway, you know that.
No, but I mean, they did do that Oz movie, The Great and Powerful, right? Now, everybody before that movie came out was saying, "Oh no, it's not going to work. There's only one film, and that's The Wizard of Oz," right? They don't even acknowledge the second one really returned to Oz, right? But the one with James Franco, let's be honest, everybody was surprised. It was a huge hit. It actually had, because the people that made it, and when they genuinely care about something, you could tell, and they genuinely cared about this, they did, and you could tell. Now, if you can get someone like that again to do something like this, and bring Wolfgang Peterson is still alive as far as I know, bring him on even as a consultant, because he worked on the movie to help these new people. Look, nobody has a problem with remakes. Nobody really does, right? Yes, people will always have their favorite, whether it's the remake or whether it's the original. But the thing about it is, people don't really mind remakes. The problem is when they do remake them, they never do them justice. They never do them justice, and they try to change too much. The NeverEnding Story, right? Yes, this is an hour and a half. For a modern audience, you could make it a 2.5-hour movie. You could go into a lot more detail. You know what I mean? And with today's modern, as you said, modern effects, it would be absolutely spectacular. But the worry we'd all have is what we all have today is, how good would the writing actually be? What would they use it as a tool to push their propaganda, or would they be really actually serious about, just trying to entertain us? And that's the problem we have nowadays. I mean, this movie could work today. Lee, could you imagine if they did this again? They got the right people. It would. I agree with you. It'd be absolutely spectacular.
Yeah, it'd have to remain true to the original. I mean, that's something Hollywood just doesn't seem to understand. You don't need to change it. You just need to update it for a modern audience.
That's it. That's it. You don't need to change. You don't need to. You've got the story there. You don't need to change it. There's nothing to change about the story. The reason why the movie was popular in the first place was because the movie was so well done. Like, did they not get it? The reason why it became a success was because it was good. Why go and then do it again and then change everything that made it that success? That's why I don't get it. Oh, here we go again with Rock Giant. Yay. Ah, he's all sad. This is sad. Well, See the blood and all on its face. Like they didn't shy away from the fact that he did eat stuff and made it clear that he ate stuff.
Great line.
Yeah.
Fantasia's fucked then, isn't it? Especially today. It's postmodernism.
Oh. He's right though. Think about it. That's why they want to drag us down all the time, because when people lose all hope, that's when we are easier to control.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Oh. See what I mean? Weren't afraid to show blood, even the kid, like.
Mm.
Well, it's at least he did kill him. But he's fucked now. Oh.
That's a really impressive shot, really.
Yeah. And here's the thing, they probably would have really had someone hanging from that tree like that. Stunt person. Yes, you have. You're a shit warrior.
She's brilliant. So it's like talking about the audience, which is so meta. I love it.
Yeah. Oh. Oh. Well, you want to make up your mind, kid. Oh. You better call her name. Or they'll label you a toxic white male.
Looks like a young Jedi or something.
Oh, yeah. Jedi Master.
Her name is Moonchild, by the way.
So basically what you're telling him is he better wish for Fantasia back. Get off. Right? He probably wants his mammy back. Really?
More wishes.
You selfish little twat. Of course, I do the same myself.
See?
Yay! See, I told you it'd have a happy ending. Do. You weren't really a hero though, so get the fuck back to your tribe. Be better.
Don't be so cynical.
Yeah, let's be honest. If you are bullied and you had the opportunity to get back at your bullies, you'd do this.
Oh, hell yeah.
Right? I'm not even going to criticize this because they deserve it. Run.
Terrorizing kids is fun.
Turn around. What you see? Oh yeah. Right. What can I say? All-time classic.
Yeah.
And if you haven't seen the music video to that tune, it's worth checking out as well, actually. So he made loads of wishes, yeah? And he never thought to make a wish that would, save Fantasia from going.
Well, he did say Fantasia.
Yeah,
like that was the whole point.
Technically, yeah.
That's why everything was restored. The horse came back, and all the other characters that disappeared from the nothing came back. Because he said it's like the nothing never happened.
Yeah, except his mother never came back.
Yeah, well, there is that.
Yeah, I mean, he got all of those wishes, right? And maybe he couldn't because he never went into detail. But I mean, like, you think you'd wish for your mother back? I think that'd be my first wish before I'd wish to fly on the dog or the love.
Well, I think it has to be within the realms of. I mean, although he brought the dragon into the real world, so
yeah. So,
which seems to be ignored by the second film. It's like, well, you see, that would be like all over the newspapers. People would still be talking about
Exactly. Right, guys. Right, we got people in the chat. Right, let me know what you thought of this story. Give you our ratings, and what we'll do is we'll let the panel give their rating and give a review of the movie as we do. And as I said, tomorrow I will have the poll up on YouTube on the community post when I put the poll up for the two movies that you have a choice of. vote for your favorite one, and that'll be the movie that we will be doing. Right, so we'll start with you, Lee.
Yeah, I mean, it's you know, as I said, it's a film I saw back in 1984 in the cinema, and absolutely loved. You know, watched it on the TV when it was on. It's such a feel good movie. You know, it's promoting reading, it's promoting imagination, hope. You know, it deals with loss.
Yes.
Deals with grief, and it's such a positive movie. And I know Cheryl says it's sad, but there are sad moments, but it's all made right by the end. You know, and all the practical effects in this are fantastic for the time it was made. The animatronics, you know, it's all that kind of stuff that is a lost art. You know, not a lost art. I mean, you know, we've seen in the Dark Crystal, they brought that back from Netflix, and they had all the practical effects in that. So it's nice that there is still, you know, a want to produce things like that.
Yeah.
And all the visual effects, it's so imaginative. You know, the beautiful ivory tower, and I mean, kid actors, you know, they're usually really, really bad, aren't they? Let's be honest, but they really cast them perfectly for this. I think they you know, they don't have that precociousness to it. You know, it's you know, not that kind of, you know, Italia Conti kind of annoying spoiled brat can't act. These kids can act.
These kids could, yeah. They'd no airs and graces about them. But getting to your point about dealing with grief and stuff, I think I agree with you there. But again, this movie kind of demonstrates and highlights as well that even though bad stuff does happen to you, you know, it doesn't mean that, you know, that your life will move on. That you know,
not the end of the world.
Yeah. It's not the end of the world, that there is a chance of a better and a brighter
dream and
future.
hope.
That hope, and I think that's what makes this movie. I think this is what makes this movie stands out to me. I love it, but go ahead anyway, Lee. I just wanted to add to that because you did bring up a very good point there about the grief and stuff, because they do deal with it. They don't shy away from it.
I think as well the settings, all the stage sets, and the fantastic characters in there that you come on. You know, it's got the typical hero's journey and all that kind of stuff, and it's you know, the mountain, the tortoise mountain thing, I can't remember his name, was brilliant. You know, I mean, it's even today it looks fantastic, and the music, Giorgio Moroder's music. And, what's his name? Nick.
That gels it all together, though, the music, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah. I mean,
you've got the brilliance of Wolfgang Peterson, who's directing the whole lot. I mean, it's just like it's they did get Wolfgang to do movies like that. He was the go-to man back in those days, in the 80s. That's who they went.
It's visionary. It's imaginative. It's Hollywood doing what Hollywood should be doing. Let's put it that way. They've lost their way so much, and I think they're just so ashamed of, or made to feel ashamed of their past. And it's a glorious history. You know, it's 100 years of you know, just exploring imagination and bringing it to the screen, and you know, I think it's such a shame that people are made to feel ashamed or bad about, you know, Western culture producing something, and it's demonizing itself for no reason. And I think it's a sad indictment of the modern era, where everything's so cynical and guilt trippy and postmodern wankery, and it's cynical. I mean, that's the main problem now is it's lost its way because of cynicism and all this nonsense political agitation, and we just really want to escape. And this is the kind of escapism that would be ideal for family, you know, audiences or kids or whatever, you know, even adults like us who we do love the fantasy element because life is stressful and you need that kind of getaway.
Yeah, but
don't you?
if you think about it, though, even though it is it's a family movie. I mean, back then they at Disney Pixar they do it to a certain extent. With their animations, they put in the adult humor so the adults don't get bored. But back then, when they did it, like they thought of everybody. That's what I'm saying. It was, if they were making a family movie, it was for, they made sure that everybody in the family, boys and girls, husbands and wives, mothers and fathers, grandfathers, grandmothers, could sit down and watch these.
Everyone loved
and something in the movie.
When this film came out, everyone loved
one
it.
Of them.
Everyone loved it. Boys, girls. It didn't matter if it was, black, white, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. You don't need to see yourself on screen to empathize or latch onto a character. That's a nonsense, a complete nonsense. And all this pandering doesn't do any good for anybody because it's so cynically done. And this is just appeals universally. You could show this to kids in Zambia or whatever, they'd love it. I just don't think
there's not one kid out there that I'm being honest, right? If I came across a kid that didn't like this movie, I would be keeping an eye on that kid until they got to adulthood.
See if they start plucking wings off the flies.
Because they probably start turning out to be serial killers or something. Seriously, man. This movie, like I grew up with it, you grew up with it, fair enough. Alpha, you obviously were a bit older, weren't you, when this movie came out? So you
a lot older.
Yeah. So you're not a huge fan like myself and Lee. But I wanted to ask you, what did you think of the movie, and why do you think they can't make movies like this anymore? I just wanted to ask you that as well. Why do you think they can't make movies like this anymore? What's the problem?
Well, Lee pretty much covered everything I was going to say already about as far as being imaginative and the effects, and it was a good feel-good story. I liked one part was the wolf there towards the end. It was explaining how he was assisting so that they could hope and fill a power vacuum or something.
Yeah, that's what it was. Evil. Basically saying when people have lost all hope, they're easier to control.
Yeah, and I think it's kind of relevant to where we're at today.
I agree.
He killed his fear. He killed his fear. The wolf was the fear.
And that's what they're trying. Listen, I don't want to get into a whole political thing, but you look at what the media is doing now, and you look at what's happening on Twitter and all these social medias and all the TV shows and movies. It's just they're trying to scaremonger us all. And the reason why they want to do that is because, when people are scared, who do they look to make sure that they feel safe and not scared anymore? The government. And that's exactly what they want. So, this movie, look, a lot of movies back in the 70s and 80s, if you look at them now, they predicted a lot of stuff that was going to happen today quite early. And it's fucking like, sometimes I do think, did was this filmmaker's way of warning us what was going to happen in the future, sort of thing? And there have been filmmakers out there that have been, accused by people out there, or conspiracy theorists, of doing exactly that, warning the audience that these things are going to happen later in the future. I just love everything about this movie. I like the way it deals with grief and loss. I like the way it handles the fact that, that they tell the audience, look, even though like your life might be a little bit bumpy right now, there is always a brighter future. You can look ahead, and I love movies like that. This movie's getting a 10 out of 10 for me. Seriously, I'm not. I still to this day, there's nothing about this movie that I dislike. I like everything. There's not one element that, even though the CGI hasn't kind of.
Oh, it's not CGI.
Not CGI, but some of the scenes where it was, they used fucking backgrounds, and then they had the fucking
Back screen projection.
Yeah, back screen protect. It does look like it's aged quite a
Like
bit.
the Superman flying.
But yeah, but in fairness, it
Superman
doesn't
4.
detract because the story is so good. So for me, it's a 10 out of 10. Actually, next, if I've already chosen my movie for next week, I just have to find out what John's is. But I won't tell you what mine is because I want to tell you what the two of them are at the same time, so there's no advantage when he's got to vote. But next week's film, if you pick it, is 10 out of 10 again. We're gonna do mine. I'll just give you as a clue. We're gonna go down the horror genre this time for me next pick. It's an iconic movie. It has
Friday the 13th, I bet.
no, it has an iconic scene in it, which I'll say no more. And it's British. That's all I'll say. That's
I
all.
know what
The
I know what it is.
Exorcist.
No.
That's all I'll say. No, it's not The Exorcist. I can tell you that, but I will do The Exorcist at some stage because I still think that is the defining horror.
Go on then, Alfred. What do you reckon?
What it is, or
Yeah.
American Werewolf in London?
Oh, it's gone quiet.
I'll say no more.
Yeah.
Right, he got it. That's what I'm picking. American Werewolf in London.
Well, yeah, because he did mention werewolves earlier.
Yeah, I listen. I love this movie. I don't know if there's fans of this movie, but I didn't like the sequel or whatever you want to fucking call it.
No, that terrified me. I made the mistake of watching American Werewolf in London as a kid, and that freaked the shit out of me.
Yeah. So yeah, hey guys, I'm rewinding, so over an hour and 20 minutes behind, but just wanted to say hi. Love this film. Even at the age of 13 when it came out, I was spellbound by it. 10 out of 10, great story, acting and effects, says the Thinking.
Yeah.
Noel, this story makes sense when you realize it was written by a German author, Michael End, who saw the fascist regime, or in the case of story power, was capable of. Yeah, I mean, look, again, I just think this movie is iconic. Maybe they won't touch movies like this because they go in there other stuff, but there are certain movies that they wouldn't even dream of going there because they just know not to. There's other movies that they will, and they'll always test the water anyway. By leaking something, by saying, they're thinking of remaking a NeverEnding story or whatever, just to get the public feedback. But I know for a fact if this movie was even mentioned to be remade, there'd be a lot of backlash towards it. This is one of these movies,
especially in 2021, or
it's held to people's hearts. This movie, it's like E.T. You'd never remake E.T. You'd never remake Jaws. You'd never remake Back to the Future. You'd never remake The Terminator, and so on.
Give him enough time. Give him enough time.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But you shouldn't remake these because they're so iconic. Do you know what I mean? You don't. They're perfect the way they are. The reason why they became iconic is because they're perfect the way they are. You cannot better perfection, right? You can't. You can't better perfection, and the NeverEnding.
Yeah, I mean, the NeverEnding story. I mean, it's got a special place in a lot of people's hearts.
It does.
It's universally loved by so many people. Like The Princess Bride is another example.
I love that movie as well. That movie is seriously. We will do that as well. But The Princess Bride, again, another iconic movie, though. And they're held to us. People hold them. And they hold them up there in a special place, and there's a reason for it. These movies, we grew up with them. They had a huge impact on our life. They really did. I mean, as a 5-year-old kid watching that movie, I was mesmerized.
Yeah,
I remember
it's a rare 10 out of 10 for me because it is such a special movie.
I'm glad you're with me on this one. because
You want my
no,
my-
listen, Alpha. Look. I know you're not going to give it a 10 out of
want
10.
to bring things down a bit?
You've already said that you're not really. So I understand that, and that's why. Look, I'm glad you're on the panel because I'm glad not everybody agrees, because it'd be boring if people did agree. But I will ask you now to give your rating and explain your reasons why it got the rating it got. Go ahead, Pam.
Well, I would give it like a 7.5,
Okay.
or maybe an 8 or whatever. There's nothing that I didn't not like about it. It's just
Right.
usually not my type of movie, but it is a feel good type
See,
thing.
that's why I get it. It's not your type of movie, so you're not going to rate it a 10. Like, I get it. Yeah, I mean, look, it's. I'm glad you said that there's nothing bad in it, because it clearly is a good movie, but obviously it's not your cup of tea. For me, I don't like country and country movies. Happen with country or country music, really. So they rate pretty low for me. So and I know people are big fans of all these kind of type of movies, but I'm not. So I get where you're coming from.
I enjoyed it, and I'm glad that I got the chance to see what it's about. So,
Would you watch it again?
yes, I probably would.
Well, that's something. There you go. There you go. Maybe we've changed it into a bit of a never-ending story fan. But yeah, I just look. We could talk all night about this movie because I love it. I mean, I could do a whole stream on just fucking reviewing this movie and going into every single little detail. But it's just brilliant. I just love the way it does deal with loss. I mean, there's not. I think movies like that, especially family movies like that, are brave. And back then they weren't afraid to do it. And I wasn't considered brave back then, but it would be now. The film companies and even cartoons. I mean, I grew up with a cartoon called Animals of Farthing Wood. In the first fucking very episode, like 3 animals or 4 animals die in that. They weren't afraid to show kids the realities of death and losing someone and the struggles, and then showing us though that you can move on and you can have a happy life. It's not all doom and gloom. I just wish movies nowadays would actually have the courage to start making stories like this again, because we need them. We need them. We need that escapism, and that's what we miss today. We miss that escapism. When are we going to do The Princess Bride? Well, I chose American Werewolf in London, so I'm pretty sure Real Super Doctor will probably pick a movie along those same lines, or he might surprise you all. But we'll do it the week after. I'll pick The Princess Bride as my choice for the next movie. But the thing about it is now you will have to vote on it on YouTube when I do put it up 2 weeks from now. So if you really want to watch The Princess Bride, everybody vote. And this is what I'm saying. I'll give you 2 choices. You pick the one out of the 2 choices. But vote and then come and watch us, folks, because we do talk during the streams. There's not, especially when we've got a lot to say about movies like this, and I do. I love discussing movies like this. We will do ET at some stage as well. I mean, I do have a number of movies that I really would love to do, and we will eventually look at. John will get to do most of his movie choices. Alpha will get to pick as well because Alpha now is here. I'll get to pick a movie as well. And actually, yeah, I'll put up 3 options this week. It's only fair that Alpha gets to choose a movie as well now that he's back. So I've picked American Werewolf in London. Alpha will pick his movie and let me know. Or if you want to let everybody know now, that's fantastic. If not, let me know when we go off air.
I won't be here next week though.
It doesn't matter. Yeah.
Okay.
You can still have your choice. Because John was the same as well. He picked Critters for his movie this week, but the vote was close. But NeverEnding Story won in the end. So you can still pick a movie if you want to. You can work away on that, and I'll put the choices up. Actually, we put 4 choices. I'll let Lee pick a movie as well. I feel generous. So you still have a choice of 4 movies this week. Choose one and come and support us and and stuff. But Chris gives this a 9 out of 10. He says this is timeless for him.
Yeah,
It's timeless film for the whole family. It is. It is. It absolutely is.
it is a joy. There are sad moments, but at the end, it all comes back together,
Exactly.
and
That's what I mean.
everyone lives.
Exactly, the hope.
Just this
and
once.
Just this one.
just this once, yeah. Except if you watch Stephen Moffat's Reign of Doctor Who, they always come back. And nobody dies in that era. It's fucking funny. I love it. Even the Brigadier didn't fucking die, bro. I'm back to life as well. Fuck's sake, he's dead years. I love it. Right. So yeah, I mean, look, that's the never ending story. I hope everybody that does watch this stream has watched it with us live. I want to thank you all. And for everybody like the Thinking that do watch these streams back, we do appreciate all the support. We really do. And thanks for supporting them. And remember, the poll will be up on YouTube. I'll find out what real Super Doctor's movie is. I'll find out what Lee has chosen and Alpha. And we'll throw those 4 movies up in the poll and go and get voting. Fantastic. Lads, I'll get you to do your shout outs in a minute, but is there anything else you would like to add about this movie before we finish up?
Nope.
I think we've said everything there is to say about it. It's been a long time since I last saw it. That's why I was quite happy to do it, because it was, a happy childhood memory. It was actually at a time when everything was nice.
Yeah. Even though we had the threat of fucking nuclear war over our heads with the Cold War situation, we still had stuff like this where we could escape.
Yeah, and now things are like the 80s again, but rather than keeping people entertained in their spirits, they seem to want to hanker down and make it worse for everybody.
Listen, if I had a time machine, I'd say right, listen, folks, I'd come on live on YouTube and say, right, I have a time machine that could take 10 years with me. Right, we're going back to the 80s. Who wants to come with me?
Fuck yeah.
I can guarantee those 10 spaces would be filled up straight away.
Mm-hmm.
It was just a great time. I remember growing up as a kid. It was just a great time to live. It was, even though I said there was bad things going on in the world, and there was a lot of shit going on in the 80s, especially 70s and 80s, a lot of shit, 60s, you know what I mean? Like, for 3 decades, there was a lot of crap. Now, I'm not saying that nothing went on in all those other decades. Of course they did. Every decade, something goes on. But even back then, when it was that bad, and the threat of Cold War and the threat of all of this other stuff, there was always one thing that you could rely on, was TV and film, and they would get you through. I mean, Saturday nights on the BBC and ITV were legendary, you know, and then you'd have your movies coming out, iconic movies today, that are iconic movies today, but you'd have your movies coming out as well. And it was just a time where you just escape. You wouldn't even think about all the bad shit. You had movies like the Rocky franchise as well. They always in those movies, even the Rocky movies, always hope was always the message. You might be down and out, but you can pick yourself back up again, and you can make a real good go at life. Life is tough. Everybody on the panel will tell you here, life is tough. It's not easy. It'll slap you down so many times, and you will, it's so, every time it does feel harder to pick yourself up. But if you're determined, you will. And there is, trust me, I can tell you now, there is a brighter future. For the first time, I've said this for the past few weeks, but the first time in months, I've been able to just sit back and relax and not have to worry about, people constantly coming after me. So, things can look up, because for a while there, Lee will tell you, I was thinking that, I'd never have any peace. I would never get to this stage where I don't give a crap. what people say about me anymore. But I finally got there, and it feels great. I don't have any worries now. I don't care. You know, these people are never going to change their opinions. So, you know, I'm going to live my life and I'm going to enjoy it because I've only got one life. And, you know, I'm only here for a short period of time of that life. And I'm not going to dwell on negativity and dwell on people that just want to be negative all the time. There's better things to be doing, you know. And as I said, you look, our lives are being turned upside down, but I'm determined to enjoy as much of it as I can, and that's why I'll continue to do more stuff like this because it does. I love movies like this. I can't wait until we do Flight the Navigator, E.T. and stuff like that. E.T. I'm going to be a bumbling wreck anyway. That movie always at the end gets to me, even as an adult. I can't hold it together. When his finger glows and he goes, "I'll be right here. I'm sorry. I'm sorry." I break down. And when he hugs him and he asks him to come, and Elliot says no, and then you see E.T.'s reaction, that gutted me. That gutted me, man. I was devastated. I was like, "Go with him, please. Go with E.T. Don't leave him." But yeah, it's just, look, that's what we grew up with. And then you look at what kids grow up with today, and all I will say is I feel so sorry for them. I really do. The lack of decent quality entertainment baffles me. Because you think it'd get better as the decades go on, but it seems to be getting worse now. But we've got a backlog of millions of movies. You know, even movies from different countries as well. As you know, I do like the odd movie from a different country, not necessarily from British film and American. You know, I like other movies from different countries. As you seen, we did a Dead Snow, which was a horror from fucking Sweden, and I loved it. You know, and there's more foreign language films out there that I love as well. So, you know, film, TV is very powerful and it can shape society. You know, I just don't like where it's was. You look at the movie back then, it was all, even if the world was, at loggerheads, people's lives were up, so there was hope. You know, Rocky is, think about it, if you think about it logically, Rocky is a movie about hope. I mean, he had no hope in the first movie, right? He ended up, well, some will say in the first movie that Apollo didn't win that fight. I agree. I think Rocky won. It's controversial, but I think Rocky won that first fight. But he had the second fight and then eventually won. Then Rocky 3, then he loses everything. Yeah. Then gets it back again. And then in Rocky 4, then obviously they wanted to tell America and Russia were at loggerheads at the time. And what was the message from Rocky at the end? A message of hope. The problem is that we don't talk as a people. We spoil. The speech that he gave right at the end, and all the Russians stand up and clap him and all, and you feel great because that's the way you want the world to be. That's the way people like Rocky is what makes it, what gives us hope. That the world could be a better place. I think that's why I honestly do believe this. That's why I think characters like Rocky are iconic and will always be held high up with fans, and they'll always fucking love them because because they see something within those characters in themselves. Same with Superman as well. There's a lot of I could go on all night. I'm not going to. I should just do a separate stream on this one night. Do you know what? When we do one of our Friday night shows, we'll actually talk about characters and how it has an impact on everybody and what they mean to everybody, because I think that would be a very interesting stream. But yeah, I mean, that's what Hollywood used to do. And you look what they do now. They're trying to divide us, label us, put us into little boxes, tell us that we're all bigots, and I mean, we watch movies and watch TV shows, and you're a white male, you're a piece of shit. You know, doesn't matter whether you're a single father or father, you're doing something wrong in the eyes of Hollywood and all of these other activists out there, and it's wrong. It's wrong. Hopefully, we'll get back to a time like it was in our childhoods, because not just for me, but for the kids today, they deserve that. They deserve to experience what we've experienced. Now, don't get me wrong. I know that their parents can show them the movies that they grew up with, the movies that we grew up with, like. But, you know, they should be capable, Hollywood should be capable of still making those movies today for today's generation. But they can't. They just want to. I see something today, and we will cover this eventually when we do the new Friday night stream. But Velma, the character out of Scooby-Doo, is getting a spin-off.
Yeah, I just saw that.
And all I will say is this, right? Without going into detail, it's not the same character. You need to stop with this, and you need to actually, if you want an Asian character or Asian heritage character, then create one. Don't use an already established character that we already know details of their lives and change it, because, you know, unfortunately, there has been a rise in anti-Asian sentiment out there, and they think by changing Velma to a Asian American or with Asian heritage, that somehow that's going to quell the racism, or it's going to educate people out there about racism. Well, wrong again. Again, it's lazy, right? You want to do that, you create brand new characters. How many times do we have to tell you morons in Hollywood, BBC, or anywhere else that we're not giving out because you want to do all of these characters, or you want to highlight these issues? The problem that we have is you're using all established characters to do it. It's characters that have been loved and well written over the years, and now you just want to take them because they're already there, they're established, and you think that if you change and then every time you do that, there's a backlash, and he's never learned. This spin-off, I can say already, even though I haven't seen that, and the fact that they're doing this, it's going to be a disaster. It's going to be a disaster. I've seen videos on Nickelodeon which have baffled me, right? They're talking about LGBTQ rights, whatever, right? And then they have a drag queen singing a song. I don't get it. Why are you trying to confuse kids? If you want to sing a song about the LGBTQ plus community, fine. Have a non-binary person sing the song. Have a gay or lesbian or bisexual person sing the song. Why a fucking drag queen? Why are you trying to confuse fucking kids? Right? Stop it. Enough is a fucking enough. If you're an adult, do whatever the fuck you want to do, but don't be trying to fucking enforce all your shit onto our kids. I'm sick of it now. Too fucking much. I've seen videos over the last couple of months as well. A same-sex couple, a transgender couple have a baby, and they're talking to the baby and telling the baby, even though the baby's a boy, telling the baby that you're a girl. A baby. It needs to stop. The loonies have been let out of the loony bin, and they're trying to run society. What has fucking happened? Where's the common sense? Why hasn't someone come out and said, right, enough is a fuck enough of this? Well, there are a few of us that do, but we don't have any power. But the people that are in power, why hasn't someone come out and said enough is a fucking enough? I'm sick of this. Cartoons talking, oh my God, Jesus Christ, Blue's Clues. I seen that fucking video and I was like, are you for fucking real? This is what you're putting on the TV to educate our kids. I'm sorry, Nickelodeon's job is not to educate our kids, right? Film or TV companies, not their job to entertain our kids, or to educate our kids, right? It's up to their parents and the fucking educational system. Now, the educational system is a different fucking thing entirely. That's fucking. I mean, I seen that Yale, a professor that went to Yale, and I don't know if you heard what that professor said, but I tell you, fucking shocking rhetoric. Andy White. I've never look. I don't care, right? Racism is racism as far as I'm concerned, right? It doesn't matter what color skin you are. If someone attacks you because of where you live, where you come from, your accent, that's racism. It doesn't matter what your racism has no boundaries. And these morons try to tell us that it does. It has no boundaries. It affects everybody. I'm just fucking sick of it all. I just wish we could go back to a simpler time. Because, you know, we carry on like this society, well, it's already in trouble, but we're going backwards, and I fear for the future. I fear for us more than anything else. You know, our kids are already fucked as it is, but I fear for us because remember, they're the people that are going to be looking after us when we get to old age, proper old age. They're the ones that are going to be looking after us when we need care and attention. And look at the way they treat us now, cold and distant, and try to tell us that we're wrong. The younger generation trying to educate us and tell us that we're wrong. So they're the ones that are looking after us when we get old. So think about it, we're fucked. We're fucked. We need to change this now. And this is why I believe that fandoms out there, you know, you need to start doing what you set out to do. And that was to call all of this bullshit out and continue and you know, stop just concentrating on that. Look, there's plenty going on out there. It's not just MCU or Lucasfilm, right? We're about BBC. We're about all the other film companies out there that are doing all of this crap to their franchises. You know, you need to look at the whole thing. Music as well has been infected by it. Gaming has been infected by it, right? I mean, even history. When people say, how with history? Well, Channel 5 recently done a Henry VIII show, and they've decided that they're going to race swap Anne Boleyn, even though Anne Boleyn was clearly a white woman. They've decided that their Anne Boleyn is going to be black. Now that show has flopped, but if you look at the spin, you know, they're even Channel 5 is talking about, you know, renewing this for another series. Are you serious? It's like literally got under 500,000 viewers now. The show has flopped completely because, unfortunately, what Channel 5 don't understand and what most of these morons that are activists don't understand is that you can't race swap history. It's set in stone. You can't all of a sudden, because you feel there needs to be more representation, that all of a sudden, Anne Boleyn, let's change our skin color. Or while we're at it, let's change Henry VIII as well. You know, it's ridiculous. You cannot change history. You cannot race swap history. So you need to actually stop. You know, and nobody's gonna watch a thing that is not historically accurate, and it's supposed to be based on fact, historical fact, right? So why would people watch a show that has someone that clearly shouldn't be playing Anne Boleyn? And I don't care how good of an actress this girl actually is. If you wanted her to have a show because she was that good of an actress, well then you create a show for that actress. You don't put her in a fucking historic.
What about Idris Elba as Henry VIII? Would you watch that?
No. Why would I watch it? Henry VIII was a white man. End of. Right? If they have a problem with that or are offended by that, then fuck them. Right? Anne Boleyn was not black. End of.
Well, there was a meme going around showing a picture of Christian Bale, and underneath it said Obama. And I just think, yeah, well, you know, by the same logic, you know, would that be acceptable?
By the same logic, but let's be honest, and you guys can answer it. But would it be allowed to happen? No, it wouldn't, because they come out and be hypocrites then. Oh, you can't race swap Obama. Why not?
He's half white anyway.
Why not anyway? Why not? You want to do it with other characters, right? White characters out there, but now that we say, all right, let's do it to a few of the black characters, why not race swap them to white? Let's see how that goes. It wouldn't be tolerated.
Well, look how they dealt with the ancient one in Doctor Strange. You know that they made an Asian character white, and they threw their toys out the pram over that, didn't they? They turned it into a white female. Yeah. I mean, there's no pleasing these people anyway. The only reason they do these things is to be vindictive. They don't do it for any other reason other than to go, we got your toys, we're going to play with them now.
They ruin it and move on to the next.
You give these people a little bit of room, or you acknowledge them and you give them something.
Well, they do because they want to provoke. They want to provoke a response, and then they can go, see, you're racist, see, you're evil, see, you're this, you're white supremacist. That's the only reason they do it. Not because it's bloody stupid to do it, and it saves. And rather than creating new characters, which requires effort and imagination, they just want to take away the toys of the evil white patriarchy and subvert them. And if you complain about it, then you're a racist. And that's so disingenuous. It's just, no, we just want things to be as they have been all this time. If you don't like that, create something new.
Exactly.
I dare you.
Laziness if you don't. And you're being disrespectful to the groups that you say that you are trying to represent.
Yeah, it's undermining
them.
It's not giving them anything
you
original.
don't even have the decency to create characters. You're just taking already established characters and you're being lazy about it, and then you're changing a few things about that character to fit your narrative, which is wrong. Yous are lazy. Yous have been lazy for over 10 years now, I'd say, even probably a bit more. The lack of talent in Hollywood and everywhere else is astounding, because there are talented people out there that are being overlooked because they bring in people that fit a certain agenda and that these companies can mold the way they want, and it's wrong. It's wrong. And again, I will say, you keep doing what you're doing. Listen, nobody gives a fuck about this new show on Channel 5. It's already been proven.
400,000.
The fact that you want to do more shows like this, and even the person behind it said, we're thinking of doing more race swapping stuff. I was like, seriously, go ahead, watch your channel go into oblivion then, because and again, it's not got to do with racism. You can't change history. Right.
Well, that's what they want to do. They say that, this is an artistic thing. Yeah, but you watch. They'll start doing it. Wait. They'll start doing it more and more and more until no one will, like, a generation of kids. I mean, like, we know that there are certain kids in classrooms who don't even know who the bad guy from Germany was, right? So it doesn't seem implausible that they will assume that back in the day in medieval England, it was multicultural, and it was, and it wasn't. But and I think that also undermines the true story of what African people went through.
Yeah.
Because it's denying the cold, harsh reality of what actually did happen in history.
Yeah, and they don't want to know, but they ignore certain elements and certain parts of history because
they can't have it both ways. You can't be both oppressed and then also seen to be Queen of England.
They're going to have it more now. Yeah, I've seen that. The students, American student, actually suggested it or something, or started it off. But they've removed the picture of the Queen. Listen, I'm Irish. I have more reason to be, to hate the regime, let's just say. But I actually think it's absolutely ridiculous that someone is offended by the Queen's fucking image. I think some of these morons that live in the UK that are calling for statues to be pulled down and all. You do realise that the Queen is on our money, you fucking morons. Like, she's on his money.
They're probably triggered by
So
that, so
these
they're
are
probably
all
passionless.
determined to quash all of this bigotry and stuff and shit. But these are hypocrites because she's using their money every fucking day. Shut the fuck up, right? I'll tell you one thing now, right? That woman has done nothing but serve her country with distinction and honor, right? Yes, there's things that she's towards the Irish people. There are things that, you know, in her later years, she's made an awful lot of effort and she's commended for that. But in the early days, you know, there's a lot of things with Margaret Thatcher. She should have she was the Queen. She could have said something, but she didn't. And I suppose she couldn't really, but the Irish people were when Irish people were being oppressed, right? Because my people were oppressed. Just like, but we don't hear us bitching and continue to moan about it. We've moved on. You know, we consider the UK, you know, friends now. You know, we've come a long way as two countries. You know, we're supposed to look out for each other, but we don't. But I'll tell you now, all of this nonsense with the Queen, and I've seen it, you know, even when the stuff with Prince Andrew and all came out, they all fucking went after the Queen. The Meghan Markle thing, they all went after the Queen. Listen, they want to cancel the Queen, but what the morons don't realise is, right, cancel the Queen, right? Get rid of Buckingham Palace, right? Tear them all down. Do whatever. We'll go as extreme as you want, right? We'll pull all the statues down. We'll pull all the palaces down, right? Then what he's going to do with all that missing income? What he's going to do with that big hole that's left? The Queen, whether you like her or not, brings in millions, probably billions to the UK economy. So shut the fuck up, all right? She's done nothing wrong to you guys. She never did anything to you guys, right? Ever since you have been born, she's been there. What has she done to you guys personally? Nothing. So shut up and leave the woman alone. She just lost her bleeding husband. And I'm sorry, you know, people will say, well, yeah, what are you picking up? I'm not picking up for her. I just don't like people being bullied. And she's being bullied. She's being bullied. She's a 90-year-old. Is she nearly 90 now, or she is 90?
She's over
She's a
90.
90-year-old woman, right? And the media fucking people out there going after her because of fucking idiots out there, right? Because they're offended by I'm offended by the flag. I'm offended by the national anthem. I'm offended by that song. What was it? The Britannia song that everybody was fucking going mad about. Oh, BBC shouldn't do that song. It's colonialism and all of this rubbish. Shut up. Shut up. You don't know. You didn't live it, right? You didn't fucking live it. There's people still alive in the UK that lived it. Are they coming out complaining and saying, oh, this is this, that, and the other? No, they're not. They've moved on and they've gone on with it.
How did we get onto this from NeverEnding Story? I'm really confused. Listen, I'm going to have to...
I'm down as well, and I have to bring Ted down anyway. So, listen, I'm sorry I had a little bit of a rant.
No. It wouldn't be your channel without it.
Yeah.
It's expected.
It does kind of tie in, because we were talking about hope and stuff. So, I mean, look, it does all tie in. I'm just sick of it all. Just leave it. You know what? Everybody just needs to take a chill fucking pill.
Well, I think where it stems from is, can we go back to something like NeverEnding Story in our media, like in film? And is it really too much to ask to have at least one bloody film a year?
Yeah,
people can go, well, that's nice. Like that's it.
I agree. Even if they were making, all of these movies that we detest, if they at least made one or two that we enjoyed, then I would have no problem. Let them pander to whoever they want to fucking pander to. But the problem is they're using already established franchises.
No, it's your privilege. No, you don't. That's white comfort. You're not allowed that any such thing.
But here's the thing: they don't want us to have our franchises. That's the thing. It's like, well, this is what you love. We're gonna destroy it because if we're going to be miserable, yous are going to be miserable too. And that's what it is. That's what it is. And films like the NeverEnding Story will never be written like that. You'll never see movies like that again until Hollywood completely changes direction. And I don't see that happening anytime soon. Now, we might, Ghostbusters and all, Afterlife is coming out soon. That will give us the first indicator if Sony has learned lessons. But there's already talk that they want to revisit the female Ghostbusters franchise after they do this, right?
Yeah, good luck with that.
I'm just going to say one thing, right? Anybody from Sony listening,
no.
which I know you aren't, but I'll say this to you, right? No. You go down this route again, you will lose all the goodwill that you have now with Afterlife. Fans right now, after the 2016 debacle, have decided to give you another chance. Another chance that I think you don't deserve because of recent actions. But you have that second chance. And the teaser trailer gave us something that we all got behind. We all loved it. We loved the tone. We loved the trailer, right? This is our chance to redeem ourselves. Please do not fuck this up. Please don't. And if Afterlife is a success, my advice to you is to do the sequel based on that. Do not revisit the 2016 female version because nobody wants it. And it's not because we're sexist. It's because Ghostbusters is, as we said, Ghostbusters will have to move on with the times. But Afterlife looks like the best way to do it. We've always said, bring in a new generation, and if that happens to be these young kids and we get to see their adventure, I'm happy with fucking that. I'm happy. And bring in the olds out. The fact that Bill Murray made a comment on the little teaser with the marshmallow fucking thing. The fact that he was on that, he was actually commenting, that makes me very, very happy, because if he's backing this, then he's obviously seeing something. Now, I know he said on the video that he hasn't seen anything, right? Well, he has. It's Bill Murray, and to do with Ghostbusters. I guarantee you, he has seen something on it, and he must be impressed with what he's seeing. Because for him to come out and talk about Ghostbusters, because we know Ghostbusters is a sour topic with him, the fact that he's come out to talk about it gives me great hope. Right, I'm going to let the lads do their quick channel shout outs, and then we're going to leave because they have to go. But I don't want to keep them delayed any longer, and Cheryl will break me legs if I don't take Ted out. So, Lee, go on, do your shout outs.
You can follow me on Twats at Being Problem. There's the Meltdown Ocean Man single still available for download if you want to go and get that. The one with Heel versus Babyface.
Yes.
Fucking scissoring. Captain Cockney Spock is currently on, I believe.
Cockney.
PJ maybe.
Cockney.
Yeah.
Go check out Cockney Spock.
Cockney Spock, right.
Cockney. Right.
Hipster.
Let's go to the one and only Alpha Omega. So, Alpha, you have a new channel as well. You have your channel up. You've got your gear all ready to go.
Yeah, it's the same old channel, but
so
yeah.
Anything that you're doing on it? Yeah.
I'm working on it. I planned last week to have stuff out, but after 12-hour work days, I didn't feel much like getting anything out. But hopefully, I'm going to, and I'm going to be doing try to get a live stream together and maybe have you guys on.
Brilliant. As I said, we're more than willing to come on and support you, because you've been a great supporter of this channel.
Might be a little negative. I don't know if you want to.
Come listen. You know me. I'm known as Mr. Negativity. I'm only messing. No, but listen, I'll come on. Whatever the subject is, and if I know what you are talking about, I'll give me. You know me, I won't hold back anyway. So yeah, we'll support you. Don't worry. We'll support you. And I want to give a shout out actually and say a big, huge congratulations to Daniel. He has reached his personal goal of 200 subscribers. So I want to thank everybody that has subscribed to his channel, because I know it means a lot to him, and I just want to say that on his behalf, because I know when he hit his goal, he was over the moon. So I want to thank you all for putting a smile on Daniel's face,
Well
and for
deserved.
supporting him, because it absolutely does mean the world to him. And it does mean the world to me, Lee, and others that have gotten to know Daniel, because he's such a sweet lad. He's one of the nicest people you will ever meet. And he
speaks the truth. He speaks his mind.
And he speaks from the heart. And he really does. So thank you, everybody that has supported him. Please continue that support. And if you could do me a favor and share some of these videos, or share his YouTube channel, and encourage people to go and support him, because he does some really great stuff with his co-host, Charlotte, as you all know. Both of them do be on this channel, and both of them are great people. So please support them all, and everybody that's on the panel tonight as well, and the usual suspects. And Chris says, yes, congratulations to our living legend. He is a legend. So go and check him out. Right. You know what's on over the weekend with me. We have sliders tomorrow, by the way, because everything was pushed today. So sliders tomorrow. So I don't know how this is going to work out. So what I will do is I'll say it live on air now. If anybody wants to be on the panel for our sliders pilot, I think the pilot was a 2-parter, so it was an hour and a half. I know on Sky One they cut it in 2 parts, which was a bit stupid. But it's all there. It's 1.5 hours. So if anybody's interested in doing sliders with me, and then it'll go back to Thursdays. It's just everything was pushed to one day, because I thought, well, obviously I couldn't get anybody yesterday, so I thought if I leave it till Thursday, I might be able to get someone. And thanks to Alpha and Lee for popping in, and I'll hopefully see Super John next week for the movie stream. But he will be here this weekend. He did send me a message. He's been visiting his mother and stuff, and I do get it when real life is when real life takes over. Trust me. So you know what we have coming on here, so I don't have to keep reminding you. But check us out over the weekend, and we will see you all soon. So I'll say good night. Look after yourselves. Stay safe, and thank you to everybody that watched tonight. We really do appreciate it. And tomorrow I will put up those movie choices when the lads on the panel let me know what their choice is. I will ask John as soon as we finish. I'll try get the poll up tonight if I can. And vote away. Vote for next week's movie. Okay. We'll say good night. Here is Lee's fantastic trailer that he did for me. I'm glad I found a stream that I can use this on, and it is. We do like to have the crack, So these movie streams, we do like to have a bit of fun, as I said. So it seemed appropriate to use this, and I love it. So here we go, guys. Check it out. Check out his channel. Check out all his work. He does some great work. And if you need any work done at reasonable prices, I haven't said that in a while, actually. Lee is your man. So go and check him out. So here is some of his wonderful work. We'll see you. Have a good one. Take care. We'll talk to you over the weekend. Bye-bye.
Bye.